It was swirling deep in your chest to express my feelings because I don't know how to communicate feelings. Well, my problem with AI at Aneke, my first recital was at my brother's wedding. Front come up with like a brand and try and get it out there. So event organizing was a way for me to get like a good thing. It helps with like advertising and marketing, and it's all
have you ever used AI in writing? Welcome to the Reconnect Podcast and TV Show. We are shooting the 4th episode today. Well, the Reconnect is not just a show, it's an invitation to rediscover the beauty in the ordinary, reimagine the possibilities of the creative mind, and ultimately reconnect with the essence of what makes us human. So today I'm with Nt'sepase Makara, who is a poet and an event host in Lesotho. Greetings and welcome to the podcast. So can you share a bit about your journey with poetry and how it has evolved over the years?
Okay. I tend to go on and on and on.
Okay, Kala. Well, your journey with that, Kalo.
I don't know. I started writing poems from 1, and then it just was just me writing to express my feelings because I don't know how to communicate feelings. And then from there, I stopped writing like in high school, like from D, from E, and started again like if get at my first year. So from writing, I decided to try and get out of my comfort zone. Who recite in front of people. So my first recital was at my brother's wedding in front of my family. I've never been more nervous to recite a poem. Like reciting in front of strangers is not as scary as reciting in front of family. But from there, there are like small poetry shows, art thingies, pious. So I'd go to that and try to recite more, no? And then I started reciting in public spaces when I started organizing events. So then a lot.
Well, it's fascinating to see how poetry can transcend cultural boundaries and bring people together through maybe shared memories and experiences. Do you believe poetry can be a powerful tool for self-expression and connection in today's fast-paced digital world? And maybe in a world dominated by visual content, how do you think we can encourage more people to appreciate and engage with poetry? I hope
Okay, let's break it down. I've got like the first point.
Yeah.
We'd say, do I believe poetry can be like
a powerful tool for maybe self-expression and
Personally, I believe it can be a powerful tool for self-expression because that is generally what I use it for. I believe poetry, for a poet, it's like a mirror to the soul. My words are me, like they're me, part of me, the truth that I don't necessarily say out loud. Like, understanding me is understanding my poetry. So yes, it's a form of self-expression. And then you'd say, in this fast-paced world, now does it fit in?
it can it be a powerful tool, like in connection into this fast-paced digital world. Like,
Well, because like yeah, fast paced, everything's like moving on. Poetry forces you to slow down in a sense, like watching a poem or reading a poem or writing a poem forces you to slow down because you can't quickly skate through a poem. You will miss like the whole point, the whole message if you do that. So you have to like slow down and listen and understand, read and understand the poem. And when you're writing, it forces you to slow down and focus and like words and reconnect and try to understand your emotions as you're writing them down, like the words you're saying or uttering, because it doesn't, as much as it flows, there are points where you like stop and try to read and understand what you're actually saying, like what is the point of this poem, what am I trying to express with this piece.
do you write in Lesotho or in English, or do you use both?
Haholo ke sebedisa sekgowa
Oh,
but ntse ke leka ho kenyeletsa Sesotho. Ha ke tsebe ho ngola thothokiso ya Sesotho e le jwalo fela. Nka ka ngola sekgowa be ke kopanya le Sesotho. I try to mix different languages because I believe poetry haina di melao ya grammar don't apply in poetry as far as I'm concerned. So I add whichever language I feel is fitting. Like there are some points that are theatrical, so I'd look for languages which feel unreal. Not sure. Meaning, if I'm trying to introduce myself or tell people who I am, kicking it as Sesotho because I feel like it's a part of me.
oh,
If that makes sense.
yeah, it does. It does. So you spoke about event hosting. Like, how did you get started in event hosting?
Well, that one, I started hosting events because, well, the reason why Niki tloletse poetry in the first place, Niki tloletse everything art, because like Nick said, poetry fell, was because I felt like how na mo ke tlo ya ka yona, and but how I work and then no one, like people like, yeah, I mean you're good, but like it's understood more.
Yeah,
So I decided I was like, okay, maybe I should try and make a platform for like different arts and artists, so that at least but Babang have a platform, even though like I couldn't. Maybe Hubele, that's something. So the first step was to come up with like a brand and try and get it out there. So event organizing was a way for me to get the brand out there, to introduce the brand and everything. As time moves on, we start venturing and doing more kayon. It's something that's a bit more recognized.
yeah. Well, it must be rewarding to contribute to the growth of the artistic community. How do you see the whole of events in promoting and nurturing local talent in Lesotho?
It is rewarding to be a part of the change, because the art community landscape Lesotho is sort of changing, and I feel like the government is like trying to pitch in a bit more than big. Like there's a bit more interest in young in art hona tjena. So the event the thusa hore as an artist to be a bit more recognizable. For example, musicians who hore ba be le hore batho ba tsebe hore this certain musician is by him going to or her going to like events and performing and doing their thing. For paint artists or sketch artists to be recognized by the artists are displayed in these events and people get interested in their work. Or as a poet, just showing events give you a chance to showcase your work to the mass in a way without it feeling like you're forcing it down the public.
Yeah, it's well, that's great. So we also have like more technology nowadays, and it's interesting to see how technology can enhance, but also present challenges in preserving the authenticity of experiences. Like maybe in your experience, like how has technology changed the landscape of event hosting, and maybe if we can also share maybe the challenge the opportunity that it has brought. Uh,
Technology, it goes two ways. One, it gives you a chance your art to be perceived by people anywhere in the world. And that's like a good thing. It helps with like advertising and marketing, and it also helps with like growing your brand
yeah.
and you as an artist. But it's also made it easier for someone to like take your words and use them and pass them off as their own, especially how only like a small a lot now galang if you don't really have like a huge following yet, people don't really know you. Someone can come across your poem or something and pass it off as theirs. It makes it easier for that. But letting hobale essence hobale trade work. So it's not as so it's easier for something okay, this is my work, or proof how.
Yeah. Oh,
And
that's true.
it makes it harder to lose poems. Truth be told, the number of written poem books I've lost it's crazy.
Yeah. Uh, so like now that the creative landscape is evolving globally, it would be insightful to hear your perspective on Lesotho's unique journey. Like, what do you envision for the future of creative professionals in Lesotho? Are there emerging trends or challenges that you foresee? Uh,
Um, I feel like generations in Zedita are going to have it a bit more easier. Like there'll be a bit more like opportunities for them to like showcase their work than it was for the 2015, because a bit more interest in the art world. Lesotho mon, like there's a growing interest in the arts, and it's not yet where we'd like it to be, but it's getting there, so it's going to be a bit more easier. There are more platforms on agenda, there are more like places that buy art, that host like weekly art shows. There are more people, there are more how do you want to say agency. There are more art agencies coming up. So like, I'm not sure in terms of challenges. Well, biggest challenge I feel like it will be AI.
Yeah, like AI is increasingly being used in creative fields like Konajana, like maybe they paint o ka kgona go e thoya ka bo AI. So it would be intriguing to hear your thoughts about artificial intelligence, like hanging in the
AI. Well, my problem with AI at Aneke, go. I get sure if it's something that's been worked on or if it's just a better. But inka different the art it's about Fabang. It and uses that to create whatever image you generate, but it doesn't give credit to the original artists.
Yeah, that's the,
That's like the problem. Like, as an artist, you don't want your work being someone else passing off high, because your work maybe you announce a tšhelete and you're not getting like any commission or nothing out of that. A cut off that whole thing. Like,
yeah, but instead like the advantages in besides disadvantages in uh or like masala like have you ever used AI in writing like po how ngola masala kapo e sebedisa ha o search how something kapo o research ka ntho e itseng fela.
I've never used AI in writing, but it's already search engine setting when I'm looking for anything to get some research. But in terms of art, I've never used AI. If anything, I like a local inspiration. It's off I can't I scroll through Pinterest.
uh, but it's still technology, so technology
Ah,
like AI, social media, let's say like technology landscape e phota ho. So ke utlwa gore go na le ditsela tse mmalwa tseo technology it has positively influenced your work.
yes.
Okay, so in conclusion, the intersection of poetry, event hosting, and technology is a fascinating space that reflects the evolving nature of human expression. So, what advice do you have for aspiring poets and event hosts navigating the dynamic landscape of the creative industry today? Uh, like,
Advice. Okay. Do I know how to give advice? I know how to give bad advice.
but it's still an advice. uh,
Well, in terms of, I'd say number one for like any creative is to like stay authentic to yourself. Hang out, you try to create something that's relatable for everyone. Maybe the meaning gets lost. Like it's you stop relating to your art when you strive for relativity. However relatable. So focus more on making sure on keeping true to yourself. That is what makes it adds the layer of depth to the artwork. It adds soul to the piece. It humanizes the art piece, highly more tied to you as a person, and it makes it easier for how we say we present o kgone ho, be one to feel
yeah.
Leo, like when people how to recite a poem can see the emotion in you as the, they don't necessarily have to relate to it, but they'll fall in love with it because they are seeing the feeling, they're feeling it with you, they're going through those emotions. But still is something they've never been through. And in terms of like for breaking through is not easy, but find artists, go to the art show events, meet people, interact with different artists, because they're friendly, surprising. Like meet people, go out, where make it your personality, but listen, don't be dramatic, okay?
Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Okay. Title give soft poet. I am a soft poet. I have watched poets explode on stage, but I could never seem to be that. Now, I'm no dynamite, but don't be deceived. I can conjure up a storm. See, I control the wind and sky. Rain pours on my command. Now, hold up. Before you call me bluff, I don't mean it literally. I am the mother nature of poetry. I conjure up storms in the depths of the mind, tornadoes in the hearts of listeners. Now, listen. Do you hear that? Listen closely to the billowing of my voice. This is the wind I speak of. This is the wind I control. And where's the wind, you ask? Well, in your eyes, of course. See, I won't stop rhyming till you start crying. Your tears are the raindrops I command, and you can't tell me you don't feel like tornadoes swirling deep in your chest. See, that's because I rhyme from pain. I pour my heart out with these words. I bleed in literature. In radio waves, I'm transmitting signals to your antennae, and soon you'll feel nothing. Soon you'll understand why I am.